Linda from Barlates Body Blitz. Welcome to Precision Training Ball. For today's workout, all you need is a stability ball. If you don't have one, you can do the majority of these exercises maybe with some other form of elevation like a step bench or a weights bench or even a chair, but you might want to use your yoga mat if it is a hard surface because we will be putting our upper back on there as well as our side. It's mainly to elevate for these exercises, so you can do it without if you don't mind it being a little bit less intense. In that case, you can maybe put on some ankle weights or maybe even a resistance loop. We're going to get started with some nice easy cardio moves using the ball just to get the blood pumping and everything warmed up. So I want you to stand with your legs wider than shoulder width, tummies are in, shoulders are down and back, your knees are soft, and we're just going to start drawing a smile up and up, down and up, and we're going to come down into our thighs, warming them up with a nice flat tummy and a flat back. You're hinging forward slightly here at the waist, and I'm just pointing my toes, tapping side to side. Everything nice and relaxed, nice and easy. As you get warmer, sink a little bit lower, and I really want you to start reaching up higher with those arms as well. All the way up. So this ball is not very heavy, but you're going to find that just holding it is going to be a bit of an arm workout too. Let's go for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now we're just going to go down, up with a nice little squat. It's as if you're sitting back in a chair and keeping your legs further apart. Down and up. Heating up through those thighs, and maybe press in a little bit on that ball with your hands, and that way you're going to engage your arms and your shoulders. Down and up, down and up. We're going to keep these arms and we're going to move into some butt kicks. A few more of these. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So now as you come up, bring your heel to your butt. It's down and up, down and up. Just bring that up as close to your butt cheek as you can and continue those arms. It's this low to high motion that's going to get the heart rate up fast. So keep going, and up, and up. Nice and wide, which means you're activating inner thighs here as well. Up and up. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're going to start doing that nice figure 8 and stepping back and back. You're stepping behind in a little lunge and you're figure 8ing the arms with a nice flat back, hinging forward slightly. So we're putting the weight in the heel of the front leg. The breath is already going, right? Down and down. Sink low, press in with your palms to activate those arms. Down and down. A few more like this. This is getting into the waistline now a little bit as well. We're going to use our core a lot today to stabilize. So you want to be nice and warm. Go for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice job. We're going to go side to side now, rotating through the waist, going back to that toe tap, keeping it at waist height, and really starting to rotate to the back there. Blowing out, wringing out your waistline, side and side. Maybe sink lower. Maybe really go wide in those legs. A few more like this. 8, 7, 6, 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Nice job. We're going to bring our arms overhead and we're going to come down and up, kind of behind the head as we come forward into that hamstring stretch. It's a dynamic hamstring stretch with a nice push overhead. So if you've got a bun on top of your head like me, It's probably not the ideal hairstyle for this, but at least you know you're coming to that low point each time, tapping the back of your head or your bun and pushing back up. Forward with those legs, nice and straight. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice job. We're going to start doing a little bit more static work. We're going to come over and across, and we're going to sweep that ball. So it's over and across. So the leg is coming from a curtsy lunge to a side lunge. Curtsy to side. So try and keep your feet turned out so that your toes are pointing at about 45 degrees, and it's across. And your arms are up and side, sweeping. Blow out as that ball sweeps past that leg. A few more. 8 and 7 and 6 and 5, 4 and 3, 2 and 1. We're just going to go straight to the other side. So it's a down and across, and then kind of like a side lunge. I'm keeping my leg slightly straighter on this side lunge, and I'm trying to then really go behind to the angle. Diagonal lunge back. Now, if I ever go too fast, slow it down. Okay, you don't have to stay with my pace. I'm trying to keep the heart rate up, burn some extra calories. A few more. Down and up. That high to low motion, burning lots of calories. Sit low. Go for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and last 1. Awesome job. We're just going to roll it side to side and do those little side lunges to get deeper and dynamically stretch those muscles side to side. So your feet are really turned out here, and your stretching leg is all straight behind the knee, and you're just rolling that ball. Come on, a few more, and then we're going to hold that ball static in the center for 4, 3, 2, 1. Now hold the ball and keep moving the legs. So you're just lightly pressing your fingertips into that ball, and you're moving those legs. It's a stretch, but it's still work, right? Really sink low, pressing into the heel. You're keeping all the weight in the heel of the bent leg, and you should be feeling those inner thighs waking up, your glutes, your quads, every part of that lower body. Tummies are in, and you hinge forward with a flat back. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now stay in the center, down and up, down and up. It's a little up, you're not fully extending here, and you're keeping those legs really wide. Maybe turn them out even more if you can. So I'm really focusing on pushing my inner thighs slightly forward, pushing my knees back, and coming deep and deep. A few more like this. Come on. Squeeze your glutes on the up. That's going to really warm up all through the back of your body there. Down and up. Down and up. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come down, last little bit. Extend your arms and just pulse. Pulse. So you hinge forward still, flat back, pulsing and pushing into the ball with those fingers. Pulse. Are you feeling your inner thighs yet? Come on. This is the nice and warm before the storm, right? So this is actually not the biggest burn for those inner thighs yet, but we're just warming them up. 8, 7, slow count, 6, tummies are in. 5, press into the ball. 4, come on. 3, 2, and 1. Awesome job. Okay, toe heel in. Now we're going to start the real work. We're going to start on one side with outer thighs. So there are a few options to this exercise. I want you to lean on that ball so it's really nice and comfortable, and the bottom leg is bent and the top leg can be straight. Now you can either stay here with your knee down, or if you want to intensify it, you can come further over on the ball, straighten your arm and straighten that lower leg. And that's going to keep you in this side plank position. That's really going to intensify things for you. So you're going to have to focus really hard. So start raising that leg, whichever option you choose. You're going to have to focus really hard not to wobble. Another option is putting your fingertips on the ground in front of you, and that's going to help you in this position. So just raise that leg, okay? Whatever option you choose, raise that leg, focus, focus, hold your tummy in, and try really hard to keep your kneecap turned to the front, and your leg is going up and you're squeezing that outer thigh, that outer hip, and that outer glute area. So this is perfect for the core. You're going to feel it big time as you wobble your way through this. And if you don't have much air in your ball, like I don't, then you're going to fight even harder to keep yourself on the ball, because it's going to want to roll away from under you, but that's okay. We're going to focus. And you might only stay in this position for a few reps and then move down to here, and that's totally fine. I think I'm probably going to do that because I think I'm going to roll off that ball if I'm focusing on talking to you at the same time. Let's do a few more of these. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now we're going to come in towards your elbow and extend. In and extend. So this one's slightly easier. Now you're going to feel the supporting leg no matter what position you're in. It's going to start burning, and that's a good thing. Hold your tummy in, really push out of that shoulder. I don't want you slouching, and I want you to try and stay really tall through the chest. In and out. In and out. Now, if this is just too excruciating and you cannot do this in this position, then you can come up even further like this. And the more vertical this leg is, the less pressure you're going to feel on that outer thigh. Okay, so that's your option. And out. In and out. Keep going for a few more. In and out. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice job. Okay, if you want to, for this next one, you can come up into that plank position, or you can roll even further over, and you can try balancing both legs. Okay, that's your choice. I'm going to stay in this plank position, and we're going to do a knee, toe, knee, toe. Now, if you can hold onto the ball with this, then go for it. But if you need to put your hand in front, it's totally understandable, because this one is really tough to balance, especially because you're moving so much through that top leg. Hold your tummy in, and if you're down here still, then definitely still feeling it, right? It's up to you. You choose your level. Just try your hardest to stay on the ball. I'm losing my focus, trying to stay up on my plank. So I'm coming down on my knee. And the problem as well, which you might find, is slipping on whatever surface you're on. So if you're doing that, like me, you should really use a mat. So I definitely should have used the mat. And for the other side, I'm going to pull out my mat. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now come over for a second and just sit to the side and push your hands across. stretching that out because this here really felt it, right? We're not quite done. One little thing to go on this side, and then we're going to switch it, okay? Not switch sides, but switch the exercise. Okay, come back into position. Choose whichever one, and we're going to circle. Tiny circles, kneecap to the front. Keep your legs straight and long, and really think about this area here. This outer glute, outer hip, outer thigh area. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and now the other way. Oh my goodness, if your leg's down here, don't worry about it. Just keep moving, keep squeezing. Around and around, around and around. Squeeze that glute. Keep breathing, push out of the shoulder. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Awesome job. I get you to stretch over again. Breathe, breathe. Nice job. Okay, we're just going to do a couple of inner thigh exercises for the same side, and then we're going to change it. So to do the inner thigh, you actually have to put your hip on the other side, okay, to do the inner thigh of the same leg. So we're coming to the other side. I want you to start with your leg extended and then bring this leg in front. Okay, make sure you're nicely on that ball, and if you want to, once again, you can put your hands down, and we're just going to start raising that leg up. So if you are slightly further up on your hip, you're going to be able to stabilize a little bit better. Up, up. Keeping your kneecap to the front of the room once again, and trying to touch your thighs together each time, okay? So that's going to show you that you're coming up high enough. Up and up, up and up. Squeezing. Keep that leg straight and point the toe. Up and up. Come on. Squeeze that together. Breathing. Breathe out on the exertion. So breathe out on the up. Few more. Pushing out of this shoulder. Keeping your tummy in. Your hips are stacked. And you're trying to really fight to keep the rest of your body nice and still. Let's go for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now I'm going to bring my leg to the back, and you might want to roll down a little bit more. That foot is nice and flat, and we're going to come up with that leg. We're going to come in, out, down, up. In, out, down, up. In, out, down, up. So all the way in, and then can you try and get your leg as high as the knee of the other leg? That would be ideal. Out, down, up. Try to keep your chest towards me. You're going to want to turn up to the ceiling, but fight to stay upright and with your chest towards me, okay? In, out, down, up. In, out, down, up. Come on. You can do this. Hold your tummy in. Your core is firing, stabilizing you on that ball. Down, up. In, out, down, up. Go for 6, 5, 4, nice and straight. 3, 2, and 1. Now keep it up, tiny pulses up. This is the last thing, then we're switching sides. Up and up. Come on, tummies are in, chest is to the front. Up and up, up and up. Try and keep it high. Come on, point that toe, leg is straight. Up and up, a few more. Breathe. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome job. Okay, so we're going to switch to the other side. I'm going to grab my mat so that this time I hopefully will not slip as much with my bottom leg. We're staying on that same side to do our outer thighs. So you choose once again, do you want to stay on that knee or do you want to roll all the way into that side plank? Maybe with the mat now, I'm going to try to stay in side plank. Up and down, up and down. So if you're in this side plank, your hips should be stacked on top of each other. Your chest is forward, you're pushing out of this shoulder, your tummy's in, and you're really trying to lift out of this underside. Lift up. Keep everything tight. This bottom leg is tight, okay? And the top leg is coming up and really squeezing that outer thigh, that outer hip, that glute area, that side glute area, and you're trying to keep it straight as if there's a stick behind your knee, keeping that straight, pointing the toe, and your option is to come down here. Come on, really nice and high. Keep that knee to the front. It sometimes wants to turn up to the ceiling. Don't let it. Up and up. A few more like this. Up and up. Come on. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And now you choose. If you want to stay up, I'm going to try this again. It's in and it's out. It's into the elbow and it's out. So I'm keeping my leg high and squeezing and straightening. You can slightly bring it behind, so that will get more glute activation. It's in and it's out. If you want to tap your elbow or forearm each time, that will show you that you are getting close to the front and back. And your bottom leg should be screaming by now, right? Are you feeling that? There's a bit more movement on the ball. That's unavoidable. Don't slouch. If you want to, come down, in and back, in and back. Come on, you can do this. Straighten that leg, make it long. Breathe. Go for 6 and 5, 4 and 3, 2 and 1. Awesome job. Oh, this other glute is so sore. Come over to the side for a second. I'll give you an extra stretch because we worked it on the other side. Now that it's supporting, it's even worse, right? But that's okay, we're going to survive this. So come back on, and we're doing that knee to toe. So realistically, staying on your knee might be a good option for this, because you're going to go knee to toe, knee and toe. Really trying to turn that knee up to the ceiling and then down. Now, if you want to, try it like this, by all means. You can. Down and up, down and up. It was just unstable for me, so I would rather focus on this moving leg and be more stable with my knee down. You're not a hero if you're using the advanced modifications and then you're wobbling so much that you can't focus on this moving leg, okay? So don't do it. Don't try to be a hero and use a modification that actually doesn't work for you. You need to be challenged, yes, but not over the top arrogant with it, right? Down and up, down and up. Come on, form is always going to be king. If you can't do this on the ball and you're finding you're just suffering with it, then lose the ball and do it on the mat. Down and up. Let's go 6 and 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Oh my goodness, that burned. So come over again, stretch that. We just have the leg circles to go on this side, and then we're doing inner thigh. Is it burning yet? I hope it is. Okay, leg circles. How are you going to do them? Are you going to attempt it? Doesn't matter which way you go. Just keep everything nice and flat. Tummies are in. Shoulder is not near your ear, not hunching. And you're trying to get your leg up high. I know it burns. Kneecap to the front. Pointed toe. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm coming down to my knee and go to the front, or whichever way you just didn't go. Oh my goodness, keep that leg straight. Nearly done with this. Round and round. Keep going. If your neck gets sore, you can look down like this, for example, or maybe even put your head in your hands, although that does unstabilize the ball. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, one more stretch before we do the inner thighs on that side. All right, so come over to the other side, and we're going to set it up the same way. So first of all, come into that nice side plank, and then this leg is coming in front. Okay, so as long as you can lift this bottom leg, so you choose where you need to be on the ball so you can lift up and up, up and up. So once again, making sure your chest is forward, tummy is in, and that leg is nice and straight, kneecap to the front, pushing out of this shoulder. Up and up, up and up. So I am tapping down on the bottom there, but I'm not resting my leg, okay? So don't rest it. Up. And each time I'm trying to get that gap to close, so I'm actually touching my bottom inner thigh to my top thigh. Up and up. And if this is really uncomfortable, you can bring your leg behind even for this one. But if you can, keep it in front just for this set, then that's actually a little bit more effective. Plus it helps you to keep your hips stacked, because our tendency when the leg is at the back is to turn our hips to the ceiling, and you lose a little bit of inner thigh work when you do that. Keep going. Up and up, up and up. Let's go for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, and 3, 2, and 1. Nice job. So now we're bringing that leg behind, and you're going to have to roll slightly with your hips upwards, but we're going to come in and then down, up. In, out, down, up. So find where you need to be on that ball to do this without rolling off it, but also so you really feel that inner thigh. It should be hard, okay? And then once you have that, hold your tummy in and try to turn your chest back to the front and get your leg up in line with this back knee each time. If you really can't do that, don't worry. You will get there with time. You can even do this on the floor, okay? You choose your level. This is an advanced workout, okay? So using an elevation is always going to be a lot tougher than not. You may do half the reps on the elevation and then drop to the mat, and that is fine. 5 and 4 and 3 and 2, come on, and 1, keep it out and pulse it. Come on, pulse it up. So this back leg is still working, yes? Pulse it up. Breathe, tummy's in, pulse, pulse. Keep your kneecap to the front. Come on, just pulse it. Straight as a stick, point the toe. Keep it up high, it wants to drop, don't let it. A few more. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, tiny little stretch for those inner thighs. I think you deserve it. Just nice and wide and lean forward slightly. Deep breath in. Point your toes and just wiggle a little bit. Get some life back into those inner thighs. Now we're moving to front of thigh. There's still a little bit of inner thigh. We're going to put our back onto that ball. So I want you to come up so that your shoulder blades and your waist are pressing against the ball, but we're not all the way back like we would be in a glute bridge like this, okay? We're going to be down slightly on an angle, and we're going to put our hands on the side. If you want a balance challenge, you can hold on to the ball or try to keep your hands off the floor. Otherwise, just plant the back leg into the mat, kind of more into the center, and then we're just going to bend, extend through the front leg, okay? So once you have this, why not look straight ahead and really focus on bending in and extending long. I'm keeping my leg up approximately in line with the other knee, but that's up to you. If you want it slightly lower, you can. Try really hard to keep your hips level. It's likely that you're going to want to turn like this, but don't do it. Keep them nice and parallel. Bend and extend. So this is the easy bit, nothing too hard here. But what I want you to focus on is squeezing the quad, the front of the thigh. And if you want a bit more abs work, you can try to keep your hands off for a few, although you're going to wobble like crazy. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now we're going to come in and out, down, up. In and out, down, up. So all the way in, down, up. You're going to feel a little bit of like an ab crunch here. So why not blow out as the knee comes in? Take advantage of that. Down, up. Your supporting leg is going to feel that too. That's a bonus. Down, up. In and out, down, up. A few more like this. Down, up. If you need to sit down on your bottom, you can do that, okay? So that will take the supporting leg out of it. But if you can stay up for another 6 of these, in and out, down, up. In and out, down, up. 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now if you want to shake out this leg a little bit, be my guest. Back into alignment. We're going to keep our legs straight now. We're going to come up and down, out and in. Up and down, out and in. So I'm slightly turning my leg out to the side as I'm doing that out and in, and that's going to get a little bit more in the thigh. I'm coming a bit higher with my straight leg there. Up and down, out and in. Up and down, out and in. My inner thigh on this static leg is screaming. How about yours? So if you want to, come down here. You won't be able to lift your leg as high, but try. Find a way of doing it. 4, and out, 3, and out, 2, and out, 1, and out. We're just going to do like a semi-stretch in order to get some life back into there. So come down with your bottom and then roll back and extend. Come down with your bottom, then roll back and extend. Come down and roll back. And down last time, and roll back. That feels good. Now we're going to do the other leg. I'm just going to switch sides so that you can see my moving leg more easily, but you don't need to do anything. Just stay where you are. So set yourself up again so that you're down a little bit further, and so your hips are down a little bit further than your chest. Your hands are on the side. Now the back leg is going to come towards the center. It will help you stabilize. And we're just going to come out and in, out and in. Everything's parallel. And as I extend my leg, I'm pointing and squeezing, and I'm trying to get it high. It's almost like an in, down and up slightly. In, out and up slightly, okay? It's like an up slightly as you squeeze that leg. In and out. In and squeeze. Squeeze that quad. The front of the thigh. Few more. Keep it parallel. Extend. Extend. Keep going. We have to make it even, right? Even though it burns, even though this leg just supported the other one. Keep going for a few more. 6, 5. Remember your ab crunch. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now it's in, out, down, up. In, out, down, up. So I'm tapping my heel, down, up. In, out, down, up. In, out, down, up. Try to get it in line each time. You want your leg straight and long. down, up. In, out, down, up. Come on, you can do it. In, out, down, up. Keep going. And if you're super hardcore and this is just not hard enough for you, put some ankle weights on. You know it, there's ways to make this harder. Don't just write a workout out off and say, oh, that was too easy for me, because there's always ways to make it more challenging. 4 more. Down, up. 3. Down, up. 2. Down, up. Last one. Down, up. So now we're going to go down, out, up and down. Out, in, up and down. Out, in, up and down. And this is where that inner thigh on the supporting leg wants to die, right? But we're not going to let it. You're just going to sit on your butt, if you need to have a little bit of a break. Up and down. Out, in, up and down. Come on. You can do this. Just breathe. So it's out, and I'm turning my legs slightly out and then straight up. Slightly out and straight up. And this is what it looks like on your butt. You'll only be able to do tiny ones because of your hip flexor. 4 more and up. 3 more and up. 2 more and up. And last one and up. Okay, a well-deserved inner thigh stretch on both sides. Breathe in and just stretch that out. Point and flex, point and flex. So inner thighs are really talking to you right now. Even though that wasn't predominantly front of thigh, you would have definitely felt some inner thigh action there, okay? That's okay. We want to work inner thighs. They're one of the most underused muscle groups. So now we're going to work our glutes, and we're going to get our back onto that ball. So if you don't have an elevation, this is where you want to get maybe a chair and put your yoga mat on there. And you can either lie your head all the way down, or I quite like having one hand behind my head because that seems to help me, and also so I can look at the camera. So what we're going to do is keep our mid back to shoulders on the ball, and then we're going to hike our hips up. And this is going to be our position for the entire series. We're just going to switch around our feet position and how low we dip and things like that. But I want you to think this flat position where your knees are in line with your hips, are in line with your chest, okay? That's where I want you to be. So even now, you should be feeling some major burning going on in the glutes, in the hamstrings, and even those inner thighs and the quads. So that's where we're starting. And now from here, I want you to start tucking. And the action is ribs and hips coming together. So it's a tuck and a release. So your ribs and your hips are coming closer together. So think hips to ribs. So you're tipping them and tucking them up. You're tucking them up. So it's not just a pushing your hips to the ceiling. It's an actual tucking towards your rib cage. Tuck in. Okay, tuck in. You're never fully releasing, you're just slightly releasing and then tucking. So to enable that tuck, squeeze your glutes. Squeeze it in. Squeeze it in. Tucking those hips, come on. Really straightening out from the knees all the way to the hip bones and tuck it. So whatever you want to do with your hands, you can keep them up, you can put them behind like I said before. Doesn't really matter so much. I sometimes like both my hands behind to kind of give my head a bit more support. Let's go for 6 and 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Now walk your knees together, but your feet are still a little bit further apart, and we're going to do full range of motion now. So that was a tuck, and this is a full range of motion up and down. It's just down and press up, down and press up. So you can see now I'm not tipping my hips towards my ribs. I'm keeping everything straight all the way down and push up. So now you can see why this ball is so fantastic, because it gives you that extra bit of range of motion to really make that burn even more. right? If you were on the floor, you would only be able to come in line with your heels or with your back. But because you're elevating, you've got extra. So you've got to push up higher and squeeze harder. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice job. Now we're going to elevate our heel on top of the knee, okay? If you prefer, you can just put it on like you're crossing your legs, or you can put your foot on top of there. And then we're going to do single ones. These ones are tough. Try your hardest. There's small range of motion. Because you've got that other leg on top of there, it makes it a lot harder to push up. Push up. Push up. Are you feeling that? Push up. So if you want to, you just cross over like this, push up. That will give you a figure 4 stretch at the same time. Choose what you prefer as long as you're feeling the squeeze in this glute. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come down. So readjust. Make sure you're always readjusting and getting everything set up again before you go. So push your hips up. Other foot is on top, either on top like this or crossed over. And push up. Push up. You're not coming all the way down. It's kind of like a halfway down and up. And up. The emphasis is on the up. And it's up to you whether you want that crossed or not. I quite like crossing it like this because you do feel that nice stretch in the glutes, although I do feel like this slightly more vertical position for the knee makes it tougher. So you choose. And up. And I'm actually pushing down on this moving leg with my foot, so it's making it harder to press up. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Awesome job. Come down for a second, release that. Deep breath in through the nose and out. One last little bit to go. So we're going to come back up and we're going to come up on our tippy toes. Now, you might want to walk closer into your butt. You just need to stabilize that. Make sure your hips are nice and high. Keeping them quite close together now, so not touching, but they're a bit closer together than initially, and we're going to do that tuck again. Tuck, so you're tucking hips to ribs. It's a tiny motion. You're not going to see a huge amount of movement. It's more about precision training, squeezing. So the muscle is already contracted because you're up in this position, right? So from that point, you're contracting harder and harder. You're changing your muscle by continually contracting and never fully releasing. It's a contract and contract motion. You're not letting up on that muscle. In. Squeeze your hips and ribs are coming closer together. They should be shortening. It's not just a pushing up, it's a pushing up and in. Tuck. Come on. A few more. Up and up. Up and up. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now walk it closer still so your knees are actually touching now. If you want your feet to touch, come back up on your tippies. Make everything nice and stable. I know it's hard in this position, and all we're doing is those larger range, down and up, just pushing up overhead, pushing, not tucking, trying to keep your knees together this time. Tummies are in, so you're going to be fighting for this. Your entire core has to stabilize to help you stay in this position because it's very wobbly here, and it's up, and it's up. Come on. This is the last little bit. Up and squeeze. Inner thighs, outer thighs, glutes, hamstrings, and quads. All in one move, as well as your core, as well as your upper back, which is part of your core, stabilizing you. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come down. We're just going to stretch out our glutes. So let that ball roll away and stretch back. Deep breath in. And then sit to the front and let the ball roll to the back. And then other way, sit to the back, let the ball roll to the front. We're doing one last little bit of inner thigh squeezing and then we're done, okay? Are you up for it? Because when we have a ball, we need to squeeze. So it's going to be inner thighs and abs because we haven't really used our abs specifically. So put the ball in between your calves. If you want it further up, you can, depending on how tall you are. And all we're going to do is lie there and squeeze. Now, if you want to involve your upper abs straight away, you can lift your shoulders and stay up here. But you don't have to do that. If you are doing this, I need you to pull your belly button into your spine and make sure there's no gap between your back and the mat. And you're just squeezing. Now, because we have already done a couple of inner thigh exercises, this in itself is going to feel quite tough on those inner thighs, but we're not done with them yet. Come on, a few more. Tummies are in. Squeeze and squeeze. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're going to roll up and we're going to come up on this elbow and squeeze on a diagonal, okay? So now being in this position is going to use your abs, so you should feel in here in that oblique area and you're squeezing. The majority of the work is in this bottom leg. Keep it off the mat. It's not going to be the exercise if you let that down on the mat, okay? So don't do this and just bounce. That's not the exercise. Come on. Squeeze and squeeze. Squeeze and squeeze. A few more. 8, 7, 6, 5, no slouching. 4, 3, 2, and 1. And guess what? Roll over and squeeze. Squeeze. So once again, this is where you're going to feel it in the waist. So you need to find the right spot. Do you want to be further over and really roll? Or do you prefer to be slightly more with your chest to the diagonal? Just make sure you can feel this bottom inner thigh and this oblique. Squeeze and squeeze. Squeeze and squeeze. Come on. Squeeze that ball. Should be changing shape every single time. Breathe. Breathe. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, and 3, 2, and 1. Last little bit. Come onto your elbows. Maybe bring the ball in between your ankles rather than your calves. It's in and it's out. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. In and it's out. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Now lower it and it's out. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. In and it's out. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Your legs are turned out here. Out. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Really low to engage the lower abs. In and it's out. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. If you can't go this low, stay up here. 1, 2, 3. In and it's away. 1, 2, 3. In and it's away. This is the last exercise. Come on. And it's away. 1, 2, 3. In and it's out. In and it's out. 1, 2, 3. A few more. 1, 2, 3. How about 6 more sets? 2, 3. This is 5. 1, 2, 3. This is 4. 1, 2, 3. 3. 1, 2, 3. 2. You can do it. 1, 2, 3. And last one. 1, 2, 3. Put that down. Put your feet on top of the ball in like a butterfly position and just really open that out. If you want to, put your hands on the side and lift up. And that's going to really open through the inner thighs and your hips there. Push that up. And then come back down. And then we're just going to grab this heel and open it out to the side. If you can't do this, then just keep it here. Maybe hold your calf. Just open that out however you can. Stretching this leg. And then just bring it in to a hamstring stretch. Kneecap facing your chest. And then into a figure 4. Rolling that towards you, maybe pushing away with your hand on that knee. And then coming back into that diamond and other leg to the side. And then into that hamstring stretch. Just straighten that out. It doesn't matter even if it's here, as long as it's straight. And then figure 4, use that ball to roll further in. And then we're going to help ourselves up, and we're going to put our foot on that ball and just sit back and roll away, so even more of an intense inner thigh stretch. And then just hold your heel to your glute. Your knee can be on the mat, but preferably kind of try to balance there because you don't want to hurt your knee while it's in that vulnerable position. And then ball to the other side, leg on top, inner thigh stretch. And all of these stretches you can hold longer than I am. This is just to show you an idea of how to finish off. But if you've got lots of time, definitely hold those stretches. Bring that heel to your glute. And then just sitting down in a cross-legged position, we're just going to stretch out our arms because some of those plank holds definitely use the shoulders and upper back. Just come behind, interlace and pull up. And then just come into an all-fours position, sit back, and then come into a cat-cow, blowing all the air out, pressing your shoulder blades apart, and then looking up. And again, all the air out, really open that up, and looking up. And finally, just into a mermaid, over and over, stretching the side body. Lots of oblique engagement with those outer thigh exercises on the ball because you're holding yourself in that side plank position. And it's a learning curve. Everyone needs to learn. So if you were falling off that ball, if you were wobbling all over the place, don't worry about it. Hopefully no one saw you. Next time you're going to be stronger, okay? So each of these exercises are something you can grow with. Not everyone starts with the advanced modifications. You have to grow with it. As long as you're challenged and as long as you enjoy it, just keep going and you will get better at it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you at the next segment.